Hello, and in this video, I'll be speaking with an Alabama notary public, Frank Barrere. Frank is a subscriber to this YouTube channel for Notaries for Alabama. Frank is also one of the moderators in the Facebook group, Notaries for Alabama Hangout. And he's been a member for, I think, over a year. Notaries for Alabama Hangout is a free Facebook group. So if you're watching this video and you're looking to network with other Alabama notaries, we invite you to join us. So Frank, how are you doing this evening?
Doing fine. Just got through eating some black-eyed peas left over from New Year's, and I'm doing good.
Good, good. It's good to see you. And Frank, as you know, and I want to thank you for being willing to just speak with us today. I reached out to you yesterday or the day before, and you were filling me in about an appointment that you had recently, and I thought it would be great to share it with the group. But before we talk about that New Year's Eve or New Year's Day appointment, would you please share with us how long you've been a notary public and how you got started?
It all started back when I was driving Uber after I got laid off from a company I'd worked with for 22 years. Oldest employee there. Word oldest. Everybody over 60 was let go after we got bought out, but they assured me age had nothing to do with it. Yeah. So that was 2017. Nobody would hire me. I was 67 at the time. In fact, I just got a response to a job application I put in 2017. They want to know if I was still interested in the job. I'm 74 now, so nah, I'm happy. But I started driving Uber and Lyft, and then when the pandemic hit, well, we know what happened. Everything went to pot. And I religiously watched YouTube, and there was a Uber driver in California who, because business went down, he went into loan signing. Um, that kind of, it sparked my imagination a little bit, and I watched his video. He had 2 or 3 videos on YouTube, and he was proclaiming all the money he's making, which you take it with a grain of salt if you're got any common sense. But I started watching YouTube videos on notaries and Mark Willis and Laura Buer and all the big names on the YouTube circuit. And I ran into yours a couple times, and Griff the Notary out of Virginia, and y'all were the only two that made any sense. So I religiously started watching yours and Griff's. And you were doing some videos with some ladies out in Texas too, as I recall.
Yes.
And that's what I watched. Now I've watched the other, snake oil salesmen, and every once in a while you actually get something that's worthwhile. But I wasn't going to pay $500-600 for a course, or you know the information's out there. I went to the Secretary of State's office. I read up on that, and I spent 6 months just going over all the videos and all the information before I applied for my commission. And I just renewed my commission, so it's been over 4 years. I'm on my second bout, and I enjoy it. I love going out and meeting people. Always have. And I really, one of the things that got me involved was when Alabama changed the marriage law back in 2019. I told the wife, I said, I can make a fortune off marriages alone. No, you can't. But anyway, I did, I think my first 4 or 5, I charged them. And back then it was $5 per notarial act, and then your travel fee or whatever. And I said, the heck with this. I quit charging for marriages. And
Why, why, Frank? Why did you stop charging?
I, I don't charge for being a Santa Claus. And it just struck me, somebody's entering a new phase of their life, and I wanted to be part of it, but not to make money off it. And I've had some people give me $100 tip, and I've had some didn't have $5 to pay for it, and I had one couple, they didn't have the money for the probate fees, and they had to read. I had to go back and redo it because it went past 30 days.
Mhm.
So it was just one of those things. I don't charge for taking an oath. I put it in my journal that I took an oath, but I put no charge. I don't charge for marriages. Divorces are full price, though.
Okay.
And I tell them that. That usually gets a smile.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of marriage certificates, the appointment that you had recently, it didn't start off as
No,
a
no,
request. What
no.
what did the woman want originally when she called you?
She needed an affidavit notarized for her trucking company to send her uh, direct deposits to her bank. And I quoted the price $30. It's 8-10 miles from my house to the truck stop, and I get a lot of business out of the truck stop. Truckers don't have the luxury of driving around to find a notary. And I talked to the terminal manager and the gal working the fuel island, and I give them some cards. I say, if anybody needs a notary, just and if I know who it is, I slip them $5-10 on the side because they're getting me business. But this one here, she did Google notary near me, and I was the closest. So, lady called me up this New Year's Eve about 1:30, and she told me what she needed, and I gave her a price of $30, $10 for the uh, notarization, and then 20 travel. I pretty much charge $20 travel fee on anything.
Mhm.
I've gone 25 miles for $20. I go 2 miles for $20. So it kind of works out like that. So I get there as a beautiful young lady, almost 50. And women truckers are different than others. And I noticed she had a little dinky ring on her left ring finger. And I said, "Are you married?" And my wife knows about this. Anytime I see a woman that I'm interacting with, I always ask them, "Are you married?" And yes or no. And she said, "Well, I'm going to be married, but I don't know when." I said, "Oh, okay." And she said her fiance was coming in there. He drives for another two different trucking companies, and they were meeting up there for a little R&R time, together time. He was heading west, she was heading east. And I told her about Alabama's marriage law, and I said we could do the document now because she downloaded a document on her computer in her truck, took it to the truck stop. They printed it out for $1. Okay, so she said she went back to her truck, found the probate site, filled out the form, came back in with her flash drive, took it to the fuel island or the fuel station there, and they printed out 2 copies. I said, always get 2 copies on the signature page, just in case.
Mhm.
And her fiance got in there, and I explained everything to him, just I did to her. Excuse me. And let's do it. He said, what's the date of our marriage? It's going to be today. Today's the date of your marriage. And I told him I'm going to go down the 2nd of January, probate court. I'll register it. I'll get 2 copies of the document because there are 2 different companies we're dealing with. So they both need to have a copy.
Mm-hmm.
I went down, I took pictures of everything, went to FedEx, and I charged them $150 for this, and it cost me $78 for probate, and then $975 for FedEx. So I figure I did pretty good.
I think you did too. I was really impressed by how you educated the signers on the marriage law. So by you knowing Alabama's marriage law and how it worked, you were able to help this couple who,
They were from Arizona.
so they really had no clue, right?
No, no. And I get people from Mississippi because of Alabama's more liberal marriage policy. I get people from the CB base and the Air Force base. I'll meet them at Love's truck stop at exit 10. And I always go there because it's closer to my house and it's 6 miles further from the one at exit 4. And it looks better. Get your picture made in front of Love's truck stop and get married. And I've done several marriages there. And you know, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Excellent.
If they want to go down and process it themselves, that's fine. There you go. Good luck. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Earlier, you mentioned when you were doing your research on becoming a notary, initially you read up a lot about being a signing agent. Do you
Correct.
do any loan signings now? If not,
Yes.
why not? Okay, and if you do, how is
Uh,
that going for you?
it's very slow. I just got uh I've got limited access. The only place I'm exposed to any of the signing services is through the NNA's uh signing site.
Signingagent.com.
Yeah, that's the only place I'm listed. I'm in the process. I got to order a scanner. I just bought a brand new Brother dual tray super dyno whopping laser jet black printer, and I just got that paid off. So now I can spend another $350 on a good scanner,
Okay.
and pretty much all I've been doing is loan mods because I haven't had one yet. They wanted scan backs, except I had one they wanted just the signature pages. That's all they wanted. I've had some uh what do they call it? Wills and powers of attorney. Doggone it. Don't get old. You
That's
lose.
all right. I got two more questions for you.
Sure.
So you do general notary work, the loan signing, agent work, other so signingagent.com. That's where companies fine you for the loan signing work.
Yes.
How are they fining you for the regular work, like the marriage certificates, the wills, and all?
The Google Notary near me, I got a Google web page. I hand out 1,500, maybe 2,000 business cards a year.
Wow.
I'm on a referral list with PNC Bank and Regions Bank in Bama Battery. They don't do divorces or marriage. They don't touch. They will not touch anything except bank-related documents. And in fact, I married the. She was the branch manager at PNC. She has retired now, but I married her uh, probably 2 years ago, and I'm on a referral list with the city of Bama Battery. I have a Bama Battery business license, and they will, if you're got the business license, they will refer people when they come into the business office.
Excellent.
And I paid for that business license in like a week,
Yes.
$165, but I made that in 1 week.
Beautiful. I have one more question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What advice would you give to newly commissioned notaries who are aspiring to be as busy as you are to, getting the calls in? What advice do you have?
Some weeks you'll wonder when's it going to stop, and then you might go 3 weeks and not hear a single call. I also do home inspections, vehicle inspections. Uh, I've inspected airplanes, shrimp boats, cars, and for a while there, I was knocking down some major money doing that, and that has dried up. But other areas have opened up, so it just depends on the weather.
All right. Well, listen, is there anything else you'd like to share or let folks know watching?
The biggest complaint I've got, and every week I pick out 2 or 3 notaries in the area that my competitors, and I call them. You wouldn't believe how many times they don't even answer the phone during their business hours. If you're going to be in business, you got to have a phone, you got to have it out, and you got to answer it. Yeah,
That's
you're going to. I get the garbage calls, the spam calls and all, but that's just part of the game. If you're not going to answer your phone, you ain't going to make anything.
good point. Good point.
And I do a lot of public service type work. One of the schools was doing. Uh, they were taking the kids off, and they had to have each child had to have a notarized release by the parent. I did them all for no charge.
Beautiful.
It took 30 minutes to do 18 kids. Everybody had their things filled out. Yep, yep, okay. And it took me longer to put them in my journal than it did to do them. But you know how it goes. And I do keep a journal.
Excellent. Excellent. I do too. And you and I know that Alabama law does not require it, but you and I also know how it can help us. It benefits us to do so anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah, very, very much so. It's and I tell a couple notaries that I've had to go behind and fix their work. Uh, it's exasperating because I called up this one and said, I don't remember. I said, you got your journal? I don't keep one.
Yeah. I
I
found
think he said it was 2012 when they did away with the requirement, something.
That sounds about right.
He said, when they said that, I had kept the journal since.
Wow. So, Frank, I appreciate you for several reasons. One, how you contribute in the Facebook group and answering questions and sharing your experiences. Secondly, you recently hosted a notary meetup there in the Mobile area, and something tells me it won't be the last time you host a
No,
meetup. If there are notaries from the Mobile area that want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
251 379 6268.
Awesome.
I put my phone number out there because that's how I get business.
I know that's right. And really, it's been a pleasure for me networking with you, getting to know you. You've offered me some very good advice, and I'm just really glad that you're holding it down in Southern Alabama, and I'm doing my best to hold it down here in North Alabama. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Frank. Again, that was Frank Barrere, who runs a notary business there in the Mobile, Alabama area. With his permission, I'll post his contact number in the description. I really appreciate him joining me today to share some of his firsthand experiences being a mobile notary and signing agent here in Alabama. If you found this video helpful and informative, I want to encourage you to continue checking back to the channel. In fact, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so that you can be alerted the next time a new video is posted. Keep in mind, the focus of this channel is to provide helpful information to Alabama notaries and to the public at large. I will be scheduling some training, notary training, that will be conducted via live Zoom meetings. The dates, I had a little chill there if you noticed me jumping. The dates will be between January 17th and January 20th. I'll be sure to post a formal announcement here on the channel. To register, you'll want to go to trainalabama.com. Again, that's trainalabama.com. I'll post a link below in the comments section so that you can easily access that. It'll be Notary Basics training for Alabama notaries. I'll also be hosting next week an informational webinar for those of you who are interested in becoming a process server. You can get some information about that. If you are looking for notaries to connect with and network with, I want to invite you to join our free Facebook group called Notaries for Alabama Hangout. Just search for groups on Facebook and request to join, answer the questions, and I'll get you added. If there is a topic that you would like to know more about um, for notary work, please let me know below in the comments. I'll make every effort to research that for you and get a video up to answer your questions. Thank you again for supporting the channel and supporting me. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video.